Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. Now, if you have been saying to yourself, boy, I wish someone would do a video where they have absolutely no idea what they're going to do, don't have a plan, don't have a prototype, don't know if it's going to work, well, you're in the right place. From a personal perspective, I don't know if this means that I'm letting my hair down and trying to be more spontaneous and less rigid. Sounds so not good. To be, well, more spontaneous. Let's leave it at that. Or if something has snapped and this is just foolhardy. I was digging through my supply of tape, and this is just a few rolls here. These are all masking tapes in different widths. But I have a bin full of tape. Some of it is first aid tape. Some is two-sided. Some is whatever you call that dimensional stuff that is raised. And I was working on another video idea, so you'll see that one, I guess, when the time is right. But when I saw that tape, I thought, why am I not using it? You know what? And especially I think masking tape tends to dry up quite quickly. So I thought, what the heck? What the heck? Let's just do something with it. Now this is actually a book page. It was out of an art book, if I remember correctly. So I'm probably going to be sorry that I picked poor paper. You know, lightweight. It's not watercolor. It's not, it's not artist paper. But again, we're going to pretend that there are no regrets here. So what I did was I began tearing pieces. I started with the widest one first, and I began tearing pieces. And you know how sometimes tape goes, it tears sideways and narrow strips instead of the whole width. So I didn't really want straight edges, well, except for this narrow one. So whatever it was, I just let it be. Of course, by the time you get down to something that's only of a quarter inch wide, you pretty well can't roughen up the edges because there'd be nothing left. So it's a mixture of straight edges and, more organic looking edges. And in some places, there would be like 3 thicknesses high. So what I'm hoping, and at first I thought I would use paint. Then I thought, well, I have all these distress spray bottles that I don't really use very much. So I gathered a few colors of those. Then this, I think, is older, much older packaging. These are like shoe polish bottles, where it's got the little sponge thing at the end. So I don't know how well that's going to work. I guess I should begin shaking something here. So my intention, and I do have these little spritzer things on standby, as well as a paintbrush and my little jar of water. Because I thought, okay, what is this one? Tarnished brass. I think that maybe for the time being I shouldn't use those because they're not going to be as, they won't spread as well, obviously, as misted spray would. I don't even know if I'm shaking this right side to side before using 2 inches of the blah, blah. Mist water react with water to blah, blah, blah. Clean spray nozzle after each use. Okay, so this one is called Crackling Campfire. And you can see that it has settled out quite a bit. So we'll give this a little shakeroono. And, I just hear the ball now. The ball must have been lodged in the sediment. So like I said, I intend, well, number one, it's like being on a treasure hunt here in my studio space, because I'm finding supplies and tools and books and ideas that I forgot I ever acquired or intended to use. It still doesn't look like it's mixing there. Or maybe if I was ambidextrous. This one is Wild Honey. That's a very beautiful color. Got a little rhythm. I should have done this beforehand. Anyway, maybe this first one is good enough. Whoops. I shook it up and down. So let's see what's going to happen. And I do have my piece of plastic tablecloth covering my space. Just took my paintbrush out of harm's way. Now, whoops, is this little plunger thing plugged? Ah. So, of course, we know that these paints or inks are formulated. Now, of course, because this isn't real artist paper, it's not going to tolerate being very wet. Okay. I'm going to, just for the heck of it, whoa, there's a lot right here. Maybe I should. Now, of course, it's going to, you can see that it's bubbling up and resisting the, where the masking tape is. This one looks like it won't take as much to get it mixed up. This is speckled ink. Now, essentially blue and orange, so we could end up with something quite scary here in a minute. But because the paper kind of had that buff look to it, now I do have my heat gun plugged in. I tend not to be one of those people that really likes dribbles. Runs. So I don't think I will really fool around with angling the paper too much. But maybe I should give it a little blast of heat. So the tape is going to serve a couple of functions. It's obviously masking and preserving the original substrate color and paper. It is also adding a bit of dimension. So you can see just with what I've done, the few little things that I've done so far, there's color pooling and darkening around the edges of that tape. Now, I guess that part of what I'll have, whoops, part of what I'll have to be deciding fairly soon is if at some point I want to pull up some of that tape. And the other decision, now it'll be a little bit harder to do because this is obviously still a wee bit wet, is to decide if I want to tape over some of these orangey bits, because the way to preserve them for future layers, of course, is to cover and mask them at this point. Now I wish, I didn't wipe the nozzle here. I wish that I had this stuff in Rusty Hinge, because that's more like a copper color, although I do have this mica spray in antique bronze, which may read as kind of a coppery color. So let's see what happens now. It'll go more into this corner. Whoa, it would be good to hit the paper. So interesting to see what this does. Okay, let's spritz. I don't like that. I should see if I can alter that. Again, I don't think I did a particularly good job of, I didn't take the time to thoroughly dry it. I'm just using the point of this wipe that is mostly dry to wick up that thing that I didn't like there. Now, because these are well, every color, every pigment of any kind is, or any paint type product is a combination of pigments. So that's why when this, trust me, I'm no scientist, that's why when this is being activated with water, some of the other component colors are coming through. Ooh, that was kind of bold. Now I could just leave that as it is and not bother. I don't think I'm going to spray that with water. But let's do a little bit of drying here. Sorry about the noise. Practically melting my plastic cloth here. Better be more careful. tablecloth came close to. Okay. Should we I think I'm just going to add some of this mica and then figure out, like the mottled look, of course, is beautiful. And all this is really going to do is add a bit of a darker element and, of course, some sparkle. And who doesn't love a little sparkle? And then, because maybe you're as impatient as I am, we'll lift something and see what we have. May irritate eyes, avoid contact with eyes. It doesn't say to shake it side to side. Oh, even dribbles. I like that. Maybe I can just dribble. Whoa. Oh, that scared me. Oh dear, sorry. Can I just, is there something dangling there that would just dribble off? Now I'm going berserk with this. Okay, get a grip. Get a grip. That is gorgeous. But maybe I should introduce a wee bit of water here. Whoop. Don't know where that went. Oh my goodness. Again, you know, I said that I wouldn't allow myself to regret the paper choice because I'm convinced that whatever, however this turns out, I will be able to use it. And of course, it is harder to use heavier paper with some of the work we do. I'll give this another wee bit of a dry because, unfortunately, if I were to start peeling tape off while this is so wet, the paint would just, or the ink would just run under the tape. And it's like when you tape off your baseboards and door trim and then find out that the paint went behind the tape. Yeah, not good. Okay, hang on. Now, I'm not sure what you can see at home, but when I look at this piece of tape here, it looks so beautiful by itself. So naturally, I should grab a piece of something Where's the other half of this page? Now I also have, this is a piece of dyed file folder. I guess, well, I'm going to peel this piece up and see if there's enough stick left to it that it would actually stick to. Maybe. So we're not wasting anything here. Pretty darn cool. Now we have that, like a bullseye. Okay. Well, let's peel off one of the top layers of the skinny stuff. Oh, so obviously you can see that some of the ink got under the tape. See right there? And right there. Whoopsie. Honestly, this tape looks so cool. Okay. Now, as I said before, this peeling off this tape affords and exposing those areas affords the opportunity to add another color. And you would think, logic would tell us, that those areas would be lighter or more solid, or, you know, something to that effect. But I think this is one of those projects that it'll be hard to stop at only one. And it is, I kind of honestly like where it went under the, because it's, well, it's a little more interesting for one thing. Cool. Okay, I should try to be a little quicker about this. It's just that I'm kind of a little bit mesmerized. It's almost like I'm savoring the moment or something. And I should, do I have another piece of this? It's almost like I stole that, and you know, whereas there's paper coming out my ears practically, so I don't have to cram it all onto one piece, one skinny little piece of, let me get rid of this gun. One skinny little piece of file folder. Okay, this must be the last one of the narrow stuff. Now, because this file folder already was coffee dyed, I can, you know, whatever I do here, you know, I feel like I should move this guy. Or maybe I should just do something like so. Yeah. Okay. Where I guess we can pick this guy off. going to put these other, these other pieces on another one of these cards so that, and you know, there will come a point where this won't stick anymore. And like I said, I could also leave some of them. And maybe that's what I should do. Let's do some of the stranger ones. Now this one I would probably put on this piece here. Oh, yeah. Okay, I should decide which ones I'm leaving. Maybe those two. That's a nice one. Let's see what happens over here. This was an odd shape. It really didn't let anything go underneath, did it? Now, where part of the masking tape was covered, of course, you end up with white marks as well. Let's try this one. Okay. So I think what I'm going to have to do to give this some sort of a rhyme or reason kind of thing here is, well, I shouldn't prejudge, but what I was going to say is that I think I'm going to need to pick a new color. I didn't use, yes, I did use that one. I might have to go and get like a vintage photo or something. Something a little darker. I don't know. Maybe I should stop peeling tape. How about that? Yes, I'm going to find a darker color. I will be back in a second. Realize that I had a few blues. Not that I'm going to introduce any more blue here. I also didn't realize that I had wilted violet. Now, wilted violet might be nice. It will be so different. But I think my impulse would be, holy cow, that doesn't look like walnut stain, but let's give this a try. This will either ruin it or it'll give us that darker definition that we need. I better keep these guys out of the way so they don't accidentally get sprayed. And kind of, there's quite a bit of the background color there, so I don't know. I mean, not that there's, I don't think you can do this wrong. Because who's to say? Oh, did you see how I got the... can't leave any of it. Oh, wipe the end. Where does my thing go? I really can't, let any of it be. Oh, but I guess I did. Oh, well. No, what? Walnut stain. I'm kind of disappointed with that. It's got quite a greenish cast to it. I was kind of hoping just for a nice rich brown, but huh. I might have to do this like that's too, although I suppose if I put it this way, that could be like my golden mean right there. But I still think it needs that. Ay, ay, ay. And in case you wondered how to make mud, okay, let's give it a blast of heat. Just adding some, oops, keep moving. Adding some in the corner there because it was all basically just that pale blue. Okay, it's not dry, but again, just for the sake of moving on and for the impatient ones among us. Now, I don't know, can you see? Yes, this tape has gotten kind of wrinkly, and that's probably from the application of heat, because I think when I put them down, they were all flat, nice and flat. Anyway, let's just peel the Band-Aid off and see what we have. Goodness knows I can do this again. It's only paper, and it's only some spraying. Now, of course, now I'm creating other areas of white. This is going to be beautiful. Wouldn't it be something if my little pieces of, whatchamacallit, tape that I'm peeling off end up being the thing I like the most? Oh, it's taking the surface of the paper off. Oh, that's not good. That's almost another indication of, being smarter too. Now, I put that down with some waves in it, which, of course, is nicer than just flat. So let's do that on a few other pieces. Oh my goodness. Look how nice that is. Okay, here's a skinny little doohickey. Put this over here. Where does this one begin and end? Again, that paper. Oh, that's kind of getting dangerous there. Maybe if I peel it up from this end. Yes, yeah, I have a boo-boo here. Okay. Yeah, that would have been, well, I think it would have been, I'm going to start a new one of these, I think. Or no, maybe I should put this on here yet. Crazy, you know, it's like collage. You put something very beautiful down, and then before too long you're covering it up, and it's like, oh, but that was my favorite part. I'm feeling the same way about this tape, but if I put any more on there, I'll cover up all the beautiful stuff, which is not the right mindset. Not the right mindset. There's a big chunk. And see how it's almost pink in places? Oh, we've got a couple different things happening here. I might have to tear that off since it stuck onto itself. Yeah, too bad about that. Now, a person, I think that, okay, well, I'm not entirely sure what I think yet. But what I was going to say is, I'm liking this stuff a lot. A lot. So I think what I'll end up doing here, let me just see what else I have. I've got this one. I've got a few more to pick up here. I think that I might just leave this the way it's looking like it's going to be left. I don't know, is anyone besides me impressed with this? Okay, is this the last? No, there's something over here too. And the reason I think that this could be a good thing to play with is that I could always go back into it with gel pens or markers of some kind and make something happen there with the with all that negative space. Could this be my favorite piece of tape? Could it? And this is probably another one of those things where you don't want to leave the tape on too long. Otherwise, there could be an issue getting it off. It's just like if you leave tape on a wall too long, like that little metallic-y thing there. If you leave tape on a wall too long, you know, you could end up pulling up paint or wood or whatever it is that it was adhered to. My goodness. I wonder if the heat did that. Okay. Now, I think that in the future, I just hope I'm not missing any. I think that in the future, if I'm going to use the narrow one, the 1/4 inch, I would not tear the edges on the wider ones. So I probably have 1/2 inch or 5/8 tape also, and I would just keep all the edges straight, because then I think that kind of would make a little more sense. I'm just going to maybe try to tack this down a bit here because I think it's going to create a problem. Because I don't think I really care for the look of both the sharp edges and the more organic shapes. I tend to like the more organic shapes better, but yet the sharp, crisp lines could be really nice too if that was the consistent thing that was going on. Now, should I do have some pens right here. How are we doing for time before I go off on another tangent here? 42 minutes. Well, why don't I? Thing is, orange is such a color. What would happen? Okay, this is just an orange Sharpie. This is the ultra fine point. Now, I don't know how well it's going to work on this because this paper does have a bit of texture to it. But let's just, for the heck of it, and I'm trying to make painterly marks. So they're going to be kind of more, they might be broken. They might not exactly hit the mark where they're supposed to be. Now, it looks like I can already tell, but again, I should follow my own advice. I shouldn't be throwing the baby out with the bath water, because outlining one space with one fine pen is not the ultimate solution here. It's just one mark in one space. So a person, oh no, that was, I guess I removed that piece of tape earlier. Okay, so I think what's going to end up happening here is that I'm going to end up, but why am I fooling around with this fine little pen? I do have somewhere here. I could probably try, whoa, I could probably try that. Oh, and I do have this. Oh no, that's a chalk writer. Oh, what the heck? if we're going bananas here, maybe it would help if I brought this closer. I was pretty sure I had an orange. Fluorescent. That's probably not going to be good. I have that. I had a real purple here too. I also have this one. Winsor Newton Carmelo. Let's see what we can try here. Oh, you know what I could have reached for, but it's very limited palette. You may remember that some people did. Oh, that's awful. Some people did reviews on these Sharpie creative markers, the no bleed. Well, when they finally came to Canada, I bought oh, here's my purple. I bought this set. I think that's all you get, 5 pens in the brush tip. It also comes in the other. Now, is this going to be... I might have to tear the paper right about there or cover it up with something. I don't know why I feel compelled to do this. That's a better color. Yeah, I think this was a poor choice. But short of throwing that piece away or covering it up, and I have to be, I mean, I want to be as authentic as I can. If you weren't here watching, I would continue to see, number one, how it turns out, and number two, I wouldn't be giving up. So it seems like I've got to walk the talk. If I'm trying to sell you on that idea, then I should be willing to do it myself. And I don't know where this design just came from, but again, it's a repetition. And trying to have, hold your, don't choke the life out of your pen. Try to be as loose as you can be. Is probably a better bet. Okay, we'll stop with that. Now, this is a chalk writer. Okay, so what's going to happen? Wet, erasable, mess and dust free. Now, it's got quite a blunt. Okay, great for chalkboards, dry erase boards, windows, glass, mirrors, ceramic, and metal. Okay, so obviously everything but paper. So let's see what happens. Now I also have gelatos and I have chalk. Oh, look at that. By just skimming it across the top, it's just picking up the texture in the paper. I don't know if it's really coming across as, what color are they calling this? They're not. Oh, that's like a kind of like a lipstick tube or something where you, that's how you feed it. And I could go a little darker, a little more opaque in some places. Like maybe over my little orange line there in some places. I could even go all the way over here and all the way over here. Now I need, what would happen if I did this? Because again, right now that creamy ivory paper is just kind of jumping out at me. Oh, and that's toning that down a bit, so that's good. So it's knocking the purple back. It's adding that bit of texture. It's almost as though I was some kind of a genius or something that was able to get those marks there, when in fact it's just a happy accident. Okay, now this, why does this one still bug me? Maybe I need to sort of cross-hatch this one. I really like that one. Out of all this space, I really like this little tiny bit here. Okay, I think I'm just gonna let that be the base. And whatever goes on after this will, this was where I had my little tear, will either be resisted by this or float on top. Or now at this point it's lacking a focal point. No, I don't think I have this chalk marker in any other color. Maybe before I do those last couple, I do have these. Oh, is this the same thing? Looks like exactly the same color. I do have these distress crayons, but of course it's kind of weird colors. Well, not weird, but I mean not really what we have going here. What was this like? I can't remember. Oh, it doesn't say anything right on So this can be sort of blended out. I can't remember if these are supposed to be blendable with water. I guess a finger, although I'm rubbing my fingerprint right off. This just jumps out at me. Let's get some of this on here. That is, not sure about that. Better introduce some over here too. I should have found something else to blend with besides my finger. This went from bad to worse, guys. Let me see what I get when I add. I think this thing has two ends. I have a chisel point, well, not a chisel point, but a, what else could I add here? Oh, that's kind of nice. It's kind of, let me grab some of this toilet paper. It's almost translucent. Why does it almost seem to have a greenish? What happens if I put it over the purple? You know, maybe the moral of the story here is I don't have to put purple into everything. How's that for a concept? What happens if I add it over this blue? Kind of turns it a bit greenish, doesn't it? Stinky. It dries so quickly, there really isn't much time to blend it. And then here I am going to sacrifice this thing that I liked so much. And it's kind of hard to tell if it's affecting the color below. Well, I can't leave this the way it is. Let's go across. Whoops. Almost like a dry brush. Okay, if the next time you see me, I have gessoed over this, you'll know that I couldn't resolve the problem. I can't get over how stinky this is. I'll be SOL when this pen dries, which may be sooner than we think. Good grief. And then who knows what this might be doing to the ability to add marks with gel pens or Posca or whatever. Okay, you know, if I collapse, it's because the smell killed me. She even went into the untouched, beautiful parts. She's gone mad. I'm telling you, that purple is just jumping. Why didn't I go over this? That's really dark there. Okay, this is like a 5-year-old who's just found a new pen. The only difference is I'm not doing it on the wall behind the Chesterfield. That might actually be doing some good in that it is unifying what is here . I need something more opaque to go over that purple. Sorry, I've gone quiet on you, but... Oh, is this dry? Okay. Well, maybe if I squeeze it really hard, I'll get something. I think that's going to be it, kids. Well, that didn't go very far, did it? I remember I bought this color was on, or this pen and color was on a sale rack at the, well, that is toast. What would happen if I used, or is the, whoa! Or is there one compartment for ink, and you either use it all up from the heck, I just can't, I want to hang this thing up under my desk, get it out of the way. Okay, we've got this. Let's see if there's any juice left in it. Barely. Barely. Well, this stinker will get thrown out. Yeah, that's it. Let me just prop this up. Take a gander. Now I also have this. This is a Tombow, but does it give me a color? No, it doesn't, just a number. It probably doesn't help. I shouldn't have done that. It probably doesn't help that that this stuff might not actually be dry. It's like I can't leave this one patch alone. What if I went beyond the boundary? How's that for breaking the rules, baby? Let's march down the middle of this purple spring. Well, it probably would look better if I wouldn't have gone all zigzaggy there. What is going on here? Maybe I have to pretend that I didn't bugger that up. That this was the way I was planning to go all along. You know, like in the nav system. Recalculating. One thing, this fluorescent orange certainly pops. Now we have to do more of the walking home drunk from the bar kind of marks. But I'm inconsistent here. I just don't understand it. What time is it? Why doesn't somebody send me to bed? Anyway, what I was going to say, or what I started to say, is that the orange, the fluorescent orange definitely pops. Against that dark, dark background. Do you see me making a beeline for this purple corner? If you saw that coming, well, congratulations. Honest to goodness, I think that this could save it. But now I should probably do more of the sort of zigzaggy. How did I even do that? Sort of alternated. Whoops, those are not exactly staying around, are they? Guess I better keep my pen vertical. I am starting to like this, which, trust me, I didn't think that was going to happen. And it's like, oh, you didn't notice the purple? Well, just follow the bouncing orange ball and you'll see it. And it probably doesn't help that I only have 2 of those things. I think the difference that this is making is that it is so vibrant compared to these colors that have now become muted by the layering and the layering and the layering and the layering and the layering, that it's whoops, keep it upright and then maybe my dots will be more uniform. Okay, I think I'm going to, trust me, I don't think this is done by any stretch, but I think I'd better let you go. And I should probably ponder my next move. That's not a circle. I kind of like how that, but I should add another guy there. And maybe there. I kind of like how that, again, it's not really getting, it's maybe turning the purple blunder. Never thought I'd live long enough to say that, a purple blunder. It's kind of making it, okay, it's there. Well, we better do something about it. And this is such a simplistic solution that I'm kind of baffled that it almost seems like it might work. That seems to stop rather abruptly there. Well, now I better do something about these guys. Sorry, this video, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you gave up the ghost long ago and thought, well, she's lost her mind. I'm not watching this. But if you're still here, I can't even quit right now. I can't even turn off the video right now because I'm so seized with the moment and trying to salvage something that got away from me. Now I wish I had more purple. Not quite. Not quite. Honestly, I'm starting to like it. And by all means, do comment and tell me if you think that, well, tell me what you think, period. I'm not going to lead you and feed you. Say whatever you want. Better do something here, and then I will quit. I mean, I'm going to quit as far as you guys are concerned. Well, let's just say this. I don't hate it. I think, again, I feel foolish that maybe I can cover that up a bit with this. Oh. Now it's just another texture instead of somebody went nuts with some unrelated mark making thingamajigger. Okay, that helped. Okay, I quit. I quit. I will be propping this up and looking at it from a distance for the next probably few days. And if I keep adding to it, I will show you. I'll just tack that on too. I mean, I'll just show it during an upcoming video, or I might save it for a follow-up Friday. In the meantime, I'm throwing this stinker away. And I appreciate you being here, and I'm so glad that if you did stick around, I'm so glad you did, because maybe this proves something to both of us. Okay, guys, we will see you in the next one. Bye.